What is up, my bros? South African Sasquatch here. Today we're going to be talking about fail to prepare, prepare to fail. It's a lesson my dad taught me. It's the one that really stuck with me. However, it only really hit me the day he passed away. So, obviously, I grew up in Johannesburg, South Africa. Well, not obviously, but yeah. I grew up in a middle class family. Nothing crazy. Actually middle class, not middle class, if you know what I'm saying. But my parents sacrificed everything for me. I'm the only child as well, so they wanted me to have a better life than they did, and they 100% gave that to me. 100%. My dad used to wake me up every morning at 5:30 just so we can go to school and miss the Joburg traffic. There were schools closer. However, we chose the school we did, King Edward VII School, simply because it's the best school in the country. So my dad didn't have to wake up at 5:30, but he chose to because he wanted the best for me. He left work early to take me to practice. He left work early to watch my tennis games, to watch my soccer games, to be at athletic events. He literally structured his entire job just so he could spend more time with me and watch me grow up. We went on holidays when I was a younger kid, but as I got older and my parents started investing more money in sport, we never went on holidays anymore because all the money that we will use on holiday went into sports because I had the best coaches, always had the best coaches, always had the newest, latest, best equipment. It's actually kind of funny because my dad used to have this saying, all the gear but no idea. I used to have all the gear. I used to be decked out and then I'd lose, and then it's like, well, new gear can't win new games, eh? For most of my life, fail to prepare, prepare to fail was just something, your dad would say, like the dad law. However, in this video, I want to show you what that lesson actually looked like in my childhood, how I ignored it and paid the price in sport, confidence, in life in general. And after he died, that quote really stuck with me. And it is literally, I structured my entire life around it. I've never been more productive. I've never had higher self-confidence. I've genuinely never felt better. Obviously, I would feel better if I had a dad. But I do have a dad because, he's still around with me through all the lessons he taught me, through all the memories we made together. However, he's not alive, so therefore, you know what I'm saying. This is honest. This isn't just something you say because you don't speak ill of the dead. But that one line, my dad genuinely lived his entire life around it. Like, I've never met a person that was more prepared for anything. My dad's a good friend, Frank, used to say, he used to call my dad Mr. Google. Because my dad would literally Google anything and everything. Whether that's reviews on the latest tech or how to build a balustrade, anything. Like, my dad would literally watch YouTube videos, do research, and Google it. So yeah, my dad's friend Frank used to call him Mr. Google. Preparation was his 5:30 early mornings every single day for 5 years, when he could have taken me somewhere earlier, or somewhere closer, should I say. Preparation was him watching my practices, leaving work slightly early, watching my matches, supporting me through thick and thin, through all the wins, through all the losses, through it all. I was a kid growing up that used to play outside. Like, I would get home from school, I would immediately, it was a ritual, I would immediately cook myself some ham and cheese sandwiches every single afternoon after school. Slam some ham and cheese sandwiches, throw that in the toaster or even the microwave, get the melted cheese, and then I would literally go straight outside and literally walk to my friend's house and go knock on the door. Sorry, can Nathan and Matthew come play? Sorry, can Connor come play? Literally every single day. Like, I generally had the good childhood. Like, was never inside. I was not allowed to play video games during the week. I was not allowed to be on my phone. I never even had a phone, honestly, growing up. I mean, I only got a phone when I went to high school when I was 14. And honestly, I never even used it. I never had, like, social media. But I wasn't allowed on my phone during the week, even when I had one. I wasn't allowed to play PlayStation, PS4. I was only allowed to play on the weekend. And funny enough, when it was the weekend, I was only allowed to play for 3 hours maximum. So yeah, I was always outside. But here's the thing. Having my dad prepare everything for me kind of negatively impacted me in a sense. Just because there was always someone there. Like, in the back of my mind, in my unconscious, I was always like, oh, nah, my dad's got it. If that makes sense. Like, I always thought I was super athletic. And I actually was. Well, I still am athletic. But in my mind, I would walk onto the court already thinking I lost. Like, I even used to call myself a practice player because at practice I would be killing it. Like, I'd be playing so well. I'd play like a practice set against one of my friends who was a lot better than me, but the score would be close. Like, I was generally so good in practice. I would walk onto a court. Nah, gee, I would immediately think I lost. I would wonder, how am I supposed to win points? I would get tired and I would get angry, very angry. When things aren't going my way, I tend to self-destruct, self-sabotage. Same with my body. Once I'm on a diet and I'm locked in on the diet, the smallest thing could go wrong and I'm binge eating. It was all like, it happens all the time. See, like, that is exactly what being unprepared gets you. Failure. I know it's in the quote, but it generally does. If you're not prepared for something, you are going to fail. 100%. I had the quote, I just didn't live by it. I was stepping into games, matches, waking up in the morning. I was just doing everything with no structure. I was just going with the flow. Just the vibes, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just vibe. Like, yeah, it is what it is. You know that saying, like, oh, it is what it is. I'm that guy, bro. Like, I'm that guy. But when my dad died in May this year, and then I obviously had to I had to give a eulogy at the funeral. And I looked down to the left, my mom sitting in the front row, bawling my eyes out. Bawling. Uncontrollably. And it was in that exact moment. It was almost like I could feel a wave go through my brain. Like, genuinely. And all I remember thinking. But if I look at the progress I made mentally, physically, productively, just every aspect of my life has genuinely changed because I decided to make the change. And you don't necessarily wake up in the morning and be like, I'm going to change. I mean, you could, but this goes back to structure. You need to have structure. You need to have routine. You need to have routine. You don't quit a habit by just stopping the habit. You quit a habit by replacing the habit. And that's what I did. I replaced all the loose, unproductive time I had during the day with other productive things. I've been posting on social media for about a month. I have 104 posts in a month. And honestly, I'm happy with that. But I know I can do more. I know I can do so much more. And that's why I'm actually starting YouTube. Because I feel like with YouTube, when I do long form, I can just cut the clips and then post them on TikTok. Sidetrack. I didn't even know how to go on sidetrack, but yeah. So back to when the switch flipped. I actually thought of that Joe Rogan edit. I don't know if you've seen it, where, no, it's not Joe Rogan, it's Dana White. When Dana White's like, if you want to be successful, you have to be a savage. And that's what I was thinking to myself. Like, I have to be ruthless. I have to be relentless. I have to be a savage. I just have to be all in, all the time, no matter what. Because in the moment, it may not feel like you going anywhere. It's similar to the gym. You can literally work out today, you see no progress. You work out tomorrow, you see no progress. But you do that 500 workouts later, and then you look at your first workout, you're going to see a world of difference. It might not be the difference that you imagine in your head, but you will see an improvement. Yeah, I'm jumping back and forth. Bear with me, please bear with me. That was the moment when I realized life isn't a game, bro. Like, I know we've heard the Sylvester Stallone, life will bring you to your knees if you let it. Like, except life isn't a fucking movie, bro. Like, this is the real deal. No one makes it out alive. Like, this is a literal Call of Duty free for all. Except no one makes it out alive. Yeah, after my dad passed, I didn't even become perfect. Well, I mean, I'm not even perfect now. But it actually took me a couple months afterwards to really get going. And it wasn't because I was depressed. It wasn't because I was anxious. If I'm being honest, it was just because I was confused. Like, I knew I wanted to do something, but I just didn't know what. I knew I wanted to start content creation, but I just didn't know what. If that makes sense. And I know everyone always says you should start. You shouldn't have it all figured out and then start. You should just start and then figure it out. But obviously I didn't do that. And I actually regret that, because I feel like if I started earlier, I would be better than I am now. I would have made more progress than I have now. But I've actually made a lot of progress. So, I'm just going to keep posting every day. So, I know this video is kind of roundabouts in circles, but I think it's exceptionally important and exceptionally understated how important preparation is for any aspect in life. Any aspect. Preparation is the most important thing you can do to improve your life. That and hard work, as well as a billion other things, of course. But generally, every single successful person is a prepared person. So I'm just going to leave you with this. If you want to start improving your life, if you want to be more productive, if you just want to accomplish your goals, I would first start off with writing your goals, of course. Everyone always says that. But it's about routine. I wouldn't go from zero to hero immediately. I wouldn't go balls to the wall immediately, especially if you're living a sedentary lifestyle and you start from scratch, essentially. I would start with one thing. I would literally walk into, if you have a mirror in your room or a mirror in the bathroom, you can do this. You literally strip butt ass naked down. No clothes on, not even socks on, bro. You look at yourself in the eye. You just got to be honest with yourself. Whatever question, whatever thought pops into your head, answer it. What thoughts and questions pop into my head is going to be different from yours. But the most important thing in that is when you strip butt ass naked and look at yourself in the mirror, you're putting yourself in a very vulnerable position. And when you're honest and you're being vulnerable, that is where change can start. And when you answer the questions and you realize you're not happy with where you are, then you can go to your notebook and you can start jotting down. Boom, I want to do this. Boom, I want to do that. Boom. And then next to it, you can say how you're going to do this. Cool, I want to hit the gym more, but I don't have time during the day. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wake up early, get my day started earlier, go to bed maybe slightly sooner, instead of going to bed at midnight, watching TV for 4 hours at night, and thinking, I have no time. Whatever. That is part of being honest with yourself. Having no time is absolutely nonsense. I mean, come on. I think we all know multi-millionaires that are working 14 hours a day still have time to work out. So do you, bud. So do you. See you in the next one.